turbine. This is one of my colleagues standing underneath one of the nacelles before it got shipped over here from Europe. But again, just kind of give you an idea of size and also where he is. So if I actually go back to this slide, so to give you the lay of the land, I'm going to kind of go from back to the front in some of these pictures. Again, that back area is the nacelle. That next area, the cylindrical part, is then your generator, which is your permanent magnet generator. That's where the electricity is made. And then you have your front section, that's your hub with blades that you connect into. That's your rotating assembly part of the turbine. So this picture over here on the left is basically showing you the perspective from if you were standing in the nacelle and you were in the back left corner, you're looking towards the blades. And the lay of the land here is that you're basically on like kind of the middle floor of the turbine here. If you go up those stairs, you're then going to be standing on the roof, and then that's where you would be heli hoisted in. That's the way you're getting to the turbine by a helicopter. And then you can also go down, and then you would be kind of at the bottom floor of the turbine, where you're then on your yacht deck. And then the picture on the right is just showing you a picture kind of taken from if you were standing on those stairs. And if you look in the right of that picture, you kind of see that lower floor with the yacht deck, which we'll talk about a little more. And then the two kind of large electrical cabinets that you see, those are the converters for the turbine themselves. So that's what's actually eventually converting the power to your nice 60 hertz AC, and it's ultimately connecting to the grid, providing that renewable energy. And then if I click ahead one more, so this picture on the left is just showing you now a perspective you're standing in the front of the nacelle looking towards the back, but mainly focused on the hydraulic crane here. Every turbine inside of them has its own hydraulic crane in offshore. This is very critical offshore because the logistics of doing things are much harder. If you're doing a maintenance activity or troubleshooting, you need to have the ability to do heavy lifting when you're right there. And then on the right, this is now showing you a picture if you were standing inside of the generator, but you're looking towards the back of the turbine. And basically that little opening that you see in the back there, that's directly underneath where the crane is. And those cabinets that you see on the right and left, those are basically the control cabinets for your whole turbine. I didn't have any pictures from the inside of them, but they're really actually not that cool when you see inside. It's just a bunch of wires, different like PLCs and controllers and whatnot. That's what's really just the brains of the turbines doing all the controls. And then you can see in kind of the bottom left of that picture, that's actually your hydraulic power unit. So that has 3 motors on it, and that's what's actually giving you your pressure for your hydraulic systems. So that's going to power your hydraulic crane that you see there, your yaw system, which basically points you into the wind. If you need a brake to stay in the same position, it'll power that. And then it'll also power your pitch system, which I'm showing you here. So now if we go from standing in the generator looking towards the back, and we turn around looking towards the blades, now you're standing inside of the hub, and this is something that you could expect to see as well. So over on the right, that is your hydraulic manifold. So this basically has different manifolds, a lot of valves in them, and actuators that control where the fluid is going to achieve your desired pitch operation, pitching towards power or away. And then over on the left, that's showing you some pictures of the hydraulic rams themselves. That's actually how the pitching is done in the turbines when you're using a hydraulic system. And then finally, on the left over here, this is a picture from the bottom part of the turbine. So if you were standing down there on that bottom yaw deck, this is showing you 6 of the 12 yaw motors. The whole nacelle essentially just sits on top of one large bearing. That bearing's geared on the outside. And then the pinions from all of these motors mesh with those gears. That's how you're actually able to turn the turbine in and out of the wind. And then finally, over here on the right, this is just showing you a picture of the converters. Honestly, not the coolest piece of technology to look at, but probably arguably the most important one in the turbine. That's because this is taking the AC power that your generator is making, it is converting it to DC and rectifying it, and then converting it back to AC. The reason why this is so important, and it's kind of the magical part of the turbine, is it's taking your AC energy that your generator is making, which is not a set frequency and will change with your wind speeds, and then the AC it's putting out on the other side is always going to be a nice sinusoidal 60 hertz. That way you can actually connect to the grid.